using the title I Love Movies. I'm very excited about a new relationship I have with Polygram Records. And the head of Polygrams in the international department down in Miami, Marcus Maynard, is the one that came up with the idea of doing the movie things. And he felt that it was a good idea because these things do get exposure all over the world. Like right at this time that we're talking, Star Wars has gotten so much publicity, not just in the United States, but all over the world, that from a marketing standpoint, which I don't get into, the record company thought that this would be a wonderful vehicle for me as my first album on a new label. He sent me actually about 35 movie themes to pick. He said, I want you to pick 10 or 12 songs out of these that you can make the Ray Conniff sound identify with you. And so I went through all 35 and, just sat down. When I worked, start out, I usually work at the piano and just fiddle around and see what ideas come to my mind. And so I did what he said, which is very exciting for me. I guess when you get paid, that's when you become a professional. And my first professional job was in 1933. I was a junior in high school. I was practicing the trombone, and one of the fellas in high school with me walked by and heard me play. He says, why don't you come to a rehearsal we're having tonight? And I said, oh, I don't play good enough to play in an orchestra. He said, oh, come on, we're not very good either. So I went to my first rehearsal in 1933, and we started playing jobs around Attleboro, Massachusetts. I remember the first job, we split the money up, we got 50 cents apiece.
Ray Conniff made his first recording on June 8, 1938, as a trombone player in Bunny Bergen's Big Swing Band. And 59 years later, in September of '97, has a new CD released, I Love Movies, the latest in a long, long line of recordings by Ray Conniff, his orchestra, and chorus. The new recording is the Conniff treatment of classic film themes, includes the music of such composers as Andrew Lloyd Webber, John Williams, Alan Menken, and Bruce Springsteen. Springsteen's Oscar-winning Philadelphia movie theme joins the soundtrack music from Pretty Woman, Star Wars, Pocahontas, and Beauty and the Beast, among others.
Music is kind of an international language, I think one of the reasons my music became successful throughout the world was because my very first records had no words in them, but they did have singers. And I used an orchestra of, I had 6 brass and 5 reeds and a rhythm section with harp and piano and percussion. And I used the singers. The chorus that I used was an 8-voice chorus, and I used them right in with the instruments, singing like syllables, like da-das and doo-doos. Like the girls would double with the trumpets and high saxophones, and the men would double in with the trombones and the low saxophones. And so when my albums were sent demonstration records around the world, people loved the songs that I was doing all over the world, like the Cole Porter hits and the George Gershwin wonderful songs and the songs of that era. But usually when they get those songs, they'd be by an American artist in English, and they would have that language barrier. And here I come out with these wonderful songs with no language barrier, but I still had the voices in there. And I think that was why my music became successful throughout the whole world when the albums first came out. Pretty woman. Pretty woman. Pretty woman. Pretty woman. I keep going back to Latin America, and the reason is I enjoy it so much, and the reason I enjoy it so much is because they enjoy it so much. And it's so much fun to get up on stage, and the kids in the orchestra chorus enjoy it too, because they see how much fun the people are having. And one of the things that I'm impressed with, and I don't know why this happened this way, it's just a phenomenon that I can't explain. And although my music is known all over the world, I think I'm more known in the Latin countries than anywhere else. And why that is, I don't know. But, and people of all ages come to my concerts. And when I do interviews down there, they tell me, the interviewer will say, "Ray, do you know that you are kind of a legend down here, and that been 3 generations have grown up with your music?" And there'll be children, people will bring their children, there will be middle-aged people, and there will be people come up with my autograph that are 80 years old, and I can't believe the cross-section of people who will come to hear the music. And this is very exciting to me that God gave me a talent to write some music and perform some music that so many people could enjoy. So I really love going back there for that reason. I've done tours all over the world, and people have received us very well all over the world, but for some reason or other, Latin America has just been phenomenal. A lot of the 60s and maybe even going back into the 50s, the younger people are starting to kind of rediscover these sounds and in the clubs. And I'm kind of excited about that, and I'm also excited about revivals of a fellow like Tony Bennett is such a great talent. I did an album with Tony Bennett years back, and he's having a wonderful resurgence of his popularity. And the young people, I guess they're kind of rediscovering these sounds of the earlier days and the big band sounds, and I think this is healthy, because I think it's good for our younger generation to be exposed to all kinds of music. And certainly that era of the big band era and the great vocalists is a wonderful era in music. And it's good and healthy, I think, that the younger generation are now interested in hearing these sounds. Don't Cry For Me Argentina, I think that's a wonderful song. And one is that the girls do a great job on that in the chorus, and another is they let me sing along with them on that. I kind of join in every time we come to the chorus part, and that's kind of fun for me, because, I don't usually sing on the records because I don't have a real good voice. But when I'm off mic, I'm singing with them a lot of the time, and I have fun. But on this one here, it was kind of in a low register where I can kind of make the notes. So I sang with them on the beat on the choruses, and that was kind of fun. And the people in South America, of course, they love that song. Especially when we play Argentina, they go mad over that one.